Ferguson is your leading partner for residential and commercial plumbing with a vast inventory of products, tools, and supplies. Kicking off a project at home? Start with Ferguson Bath, Kitchen, and Lighting Gallery. Ferguson's Tinley Park showroom stocks plumbing repair parts, plumbing fixtures, lighting fixtures, appliances, and more. Their plumbing counter and showroom give you selection and helpful guidance for both homeowners and contractors. Visit Ferguson's Tinley Park location on 185th Street or find a convenient Chicagoland location near you at Ferguson.com.
Today's show is presented by Ferguson Supply, Kitchen and Bath and Lighting Showroom located at 7950 West 185th Street in Tinley Park. Whether you're doing a minor facelift or a full kitchen and bath remodel, Ferguson has you covered. On today's show, I have, and I welcome, who has been on the show quite a few times and great supporter of the show, and I appreciate him dearly. When we started this out, and that is Mr. Joe Strong, BA with Plumbers Local 130 UA.
Steve, thanks for having me.
I appreciate having you on, and you're always a good friend of the show and always have some interesting information. Today we're going to talk about a little bit about plumbing, probably a lot about plumbing, and we're not going to bore you with plumbing, but we have a lot of interesting tidbits that you may or may not have known, and plus there's an exciting opportunity the union has that opens up every year. So we're going to talk about that. Coming up at 12:20 today, we will be picking the name of the winner of the sump pump giveaway, that courtesy of Ferguson Supply and RJ Graham Plumbing. So that's a pretty cool thing. We've had a lot of response and feedback on it, so it's going to be exciting. I took all the names down. I got them in it's going to be in a hat. Evan is going to draw it here live, and then we're gonna announce it at 12:20. So I don't even know what it is. I didn't pick anything. Joe's here. He's seeing everything that we're doing, so it's going to be kind of cool. I'm excited. And also today marks our 1-year anniversary on the air. Last year, we started February 8th on a Monday, and I want to thank everybody who's listening and everybody who's been support, especially you, Joe, who has helped make that possible. Really excited that it's making a difference.
Oh, absolutely. Congratulations.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks. And this week, we were taking a break from our What's for Lunch segment because we're going to announce the winner of the sump pump giveaway, which is pretty exciting. But if you'd like to have your restaurant featured on an upcoming show, please feel free to text us at 708-964-5500 or online at prepare2repair.com. And that's prepare2repair.com. Now, last week, we were just talking about everything with our guest, Mac Tracy with Ferguson and Audrey Johnson with Home Source Realty. And I usually try to get to a tip of the week, which I did not. But we're going to start off the show to it because I think it's kind of fitting that it is a plumbing and it deals with weather-related issues. And I've got Joe here who is a plumber. So, and not only that, he has been in the business for years. He's done this work. He's not just the guy who works for the union. He's been there. So as many of the guys at the union have done. So, but we're going to talk about heat tape. What's your opinion of that, Joe?
I think heat tape has certain uses. I fail to find a reason to have heat tape in your home.
Okay. I like the way I fail to see why you'd have heat tape in your home. And like I said that even on my notes here, I have every product has its application.
Absolutely.
And we're in agreement that I can't see an application in your house. Now, I have seen personally, and you probably have your experiences with it, that one, we've had to pull this off of pipe to repair the breaks that have happened. And this is no way going to help keep a pipe from freezing. Heat will keep a pipe from freezing. This is basically like having a broken arm and going to get painkillers for it. You still have the issue. All you're doing is masking it, and even then, it's just not going to mask it it's not going to do the job.
Sure. In certain industrial and heavy commercial applications, heat tape is installed, and it's installed to keep the water from freezing. that piping has 2 inches of insulation at a certain R value, and it's designed to allow the heat tape to do its job. Mm-hmm. You know, in a residential application, if you're finding where your pipes are freezing, mm-hmm. you need to really try to get someone out there to try to see where that cold intrusion is coming from and try to mitigate that.
Oh, absolutely. And
yeah.
It's just, and I saw, the reason why I bring this up is, one, it's this time of the year where everything is, freezing and people are having frozen pipes and they're frustrated and they're trying to figure out what to do with it. And you have a lot of information on the social media about that. And I saw this and I thought to myself, some of these products, they sell them and they are used incorrectly or wrong application. And people want to put this on a pipe and bury it in a wall. I mean, I just can't think of anywhere that sounds like a good idea. And the funny thing about it is the person that was giving this advice on a post out there for that, they were saying that, well, this is the way to go. And if anybody tells you otherwise, they're just trying to sell you work that you don't need. And I had to say something. I'm like, this is a catastrophe waiting to happen. Solve the problem. Find out where the heat, like you said, find out where you are getting the cold air, and if you have to, you may have to make some adjustments to move the pipe. And fortunately, this gentleman who was getting this information, he was getting insulation coming in. He was finding the source of it and solving it that way, which crisis averted, but trying to get this information out to people that may be in this, and a lot of it is fear too. It's, well, I don't want to call a plumber because he's going to be real expensive. I can get this at one of the box stores and it'll be $20. It's a $20 repair, and no.
Right. I mean, that's the difficulty is that stores are going to sell things. And people are going to be innovative and try to use them in other ways, and it may not be what's actually safest for your family.
No. I always recommend, whenever you have issues, have a licensed, reputable professional come out and assess what you have. Worst case scenario, you get information. You get information and education. That's it. The worst case scenario. I mean, and if you get the right people, and I say reputable, licensed, qualified people.
I think a lot of times people need to understand that there's codes for a reason.
Yes.
That people have gotten hurt, people have been poisoned, people have, unfortunately perished in fires. And that's why there are building codes and plumbing codes and things of that nature. They're out there to protect the general public. And sure, a lot of people can, cheat the system and get some things done. There's a lot of handy and innovative people out there. But if you're not, trained and qualified, then you really should be doing that job. I'm going to go see a doctor for an illness. I'm not going to, go to someone else that thinks that they can diagnose my issues.
I'm a Facebook doctor.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, but you know what? A lot of people that I'll see on social media, too, is they'll say, and a lot of people unfortunately have this this mindset that the village, the inspectors, their building department, all of them are a money grab. They're just trying to get money out of you. And one thing I've learned, and you can agree or disagree, and that's tell me if I'm wrong, but most of your laws are made because somebody screwed up or somebody got hurt, something happened.
Right. No one likes to pay taxes. No one wants to get a permit. No one wants to pay for that fee. I understand that.
Yeah.
However, if you get a permit and you have an inspector come there, they're going to verify that your plumbing contractor's licensed with the state, that they're licensed and bonded to do work in your community, and that they employ licensed plumbers. And that is so important because people have gotten poisoned through an illegal cross connection where they accidentally hooked up a lawn sprinkler line to a potable water line and someone was poisoned. These things happen. Mm-hmm. And so you really should make sure that you have a licensed, reputable, qualified plumbing contractor doing your work.
But one thing I've heard too is on there, oh, that that happens to somebody else. And the thing is my company is based on, and my motto is, and I tell my guys, if it can be a problem, it will be a problem. Don't do it.
Right.
Follow everything to the letter. If it can be a problem, it will be a problem. Dot all the I's, cross all the T's, make sure everything is done correctly, because it's just, all it takes is just that one, this isn't going to happen. Yeah, it will. Or that should be okay. No, it's not. Because, always double check, triple check everything when you do something.
It's your seatbelt.
Yes.
You don't always need to wear a seatbelt, but when that accident happens, you'll be glad you had it on.
Exactly. I mean, you can't go back from that.
Right.
And, and a lot of times that minute or two or whatever, or that couple extra dollars to get that done right or to do it correctly saves you more money in the long run. And I can't tell you where and we've been going to a lot of them, is where people have gotten, this is with water heaters, where people have gotten whoever they got to do a water heater, and with manufacturing being what it is, you're having a lot of failures. So now, okay, well, I need someone to fix this. I need someone to do this. And what happened to the people that installed it? I mean, this thing is less than a year old. One was 2 months old. We got a call for last week. Where are they at?
Right.
A licensed, reputable plumbing company will have your back.
Absolutely.
And that's why I think it comes down to the fact of having the right people. And I don't know, I'd rather follow these things, these laws that are designed, that were there before, because people before you have had issues, they've had mistakes, they've had things happen, and they've made these laws to eliminate that, or at least not eliminate, but minimize it and make people safer.
Yeah, they're there for your protection, without a doubt. And your home is supposed to be your safe place, so why not protect your family?
And when you bypass it, or you try to, skirt it, or, cheat the system, you're not cheating the system, you're cheating yourself.
Exactly.
And there's people out there, I know, they're like, well, that I don't agree with that, then my taxes go up. Yeah, I mean, but at least you're still here to pay taxes. You're still here to enjoy your house and do all that. You know what I mean? And I don't really think, I think that is partially true, but I've talked to people, and it's like, not really. I mean, it's depending on what you're doing. It's usually a make sense thing. If you had a second addition or a whole huge addition to your house, yeah, there's going to be a change. But if you're adding upgrading a water heater, or you're adding a bathroom in your basement, or you're finishing out your basement, I don't know if it really does that much. I mean, I don't know. I'm not in that business, so I don't really know as far as what the tax, what happens with it. But I can't see it being that crazy on that.
Well, but even if, let's just say for argument's sake, it does. Mm-hmm. You're talking about cutting into a live plumbing system that your family drinks from.
Yeah.
And the waste that your family generates is disposed from. Why would I not want to make sure that the investment that I'm making is going to be done to code to make sure that everyone's going to stay safe?
Right. You would.
Right.
You would hope for that. You would think that, but a lot. I don't know. I've asked, like, why would you have this done? Well, he was a relative. He was a relative. He was a friend of the family. He was, and it's like, did you check any of this? Well, he said he knew this. And again, I see it on social media, and I get the backlash on that, where I say you should have someone who's this. You should have someone who's licensed, insured, and the reason why they have it is for your safety, your security. So you have someone who's accountable, who's responsible, who's liable for everything that's done. So then you're protected. Otherwise, you're on the hook for it. And
right, absolutely. And we at the union get calls from homeowners that have been ripped off, and it's just a nightmare. And then, so I do hear, quite a few stories. And depending on what municipality you live in, whether or not their water system is backflow prevented, you could also be endangering your neighbors as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean,
you really have to think about that. I mean, that's why villages, municipalities require permits.
Right.
And they're not that expensive.
No, they're not. Some of them I've had as Low is a courtesy permit, where we just want you to register and come out and inspect. No permit at all. And some of them, depending on the job, were a little bit more expensive because obviously it was a pretty extensive job. But again, these are one of those things where I think you're cutting corners and you're cheating yourself. You're not really cheating anybody else, because who wins here? If you get people that are unqualified and unlicensed that are doing this work, they give you a tail light warranty because they're ghosts. They have no responsibility to this. And so who are you going to go after?
Sure.
They're nobodies. You just, I'm going to find them. You know, you can't find them. You can't really do anything. You probably paid them cash. So, I mean, I guess you can go through all the rigmarole and sue them, but wouldn't you rather just get somebody and say, you screwed up, you own this. You did this job, I have a warranty.
Well, and let's also look at, so I'm adding a bathroom to my basement, and maybe they sold me a tankless water heater. Mm-hmm. Why would I not want someone, I have, as John Q. homeowner, right. I don't know the proper venting, and air requirements for that new gas-fired appliance that I'm putting in my basement.
Right.
Why would I not want to make sure that the expert from the village comes out and says, oh, hey, this is wrong.
Right.
This is dangerous to your family. They need to fix this.
Well, you know how people you know what they do, though, right? They don't, the order of a product, and this is what I found, and this is not everybody, not a generalization, but most of what I found is when a product, they have a problem with a product, they blame the product. They don't go towards installation or potential issues with the installation because they just assume that this person was a nice guy and they did it right.
And a lot of faith in
humanity. Being nice is great.
Yeah.
I'd rather have somebody mean, but they did a killer job.
Exactly.
They knocked it out. I mean, you don't have to smile at me. Just do that right. I mean, that's what I would want. I mean, that's just my, opinion on that. But again, it's about, you always want to protect yourself. You want to protect yourself because the information is there. The information, the people are out there. The resources are out there to get the right people to do it. And also, you could do the research on it to find out what your budget should be so you get an actual idea of what this stuff should run. Yeah. And so you're not blindsided, because I found that when somebody comes in and they're cheaper, that, I got somebody to do it on the side or someone to do it cheaper, they're eliminating a lot of the things that protect you as the homeowner. And right. I call it the win-win. When we do a job, we as a company want to win. We want to be happy. We want the the homeowner to be happy, and we want our guy that's doing the work to be happy. Right. If any one of those three are not happy, there's going to be a problem, right. Because the homeowner has to be happy with the product they got at the price they paid. The guys have to be, want to be happy because they want to be paid, and compensated for the work that they did, and they want to be happy, and that's why one of the reasons why we joined up with the union. We want people to be happy, healthy, and get taken care of. I mean, as a company, we want to do the right thing by that. And as a company, we want to make sure that we're moving forward and we're able to stick around to be able to honor any warranties. Sure. and take care of our customers for years to come. So when you have one eliminated and say the person's on the side and they're not doing anything, or they're not paying any of these things to take care of the homeowner, then somebody's going to be upset there. And somebody's going to gain. And odds are, if you are the one fully responsible as the homeowner in this, when it's all said and done, and you were the one left holding the cards, that's not a good situation.
Well, let's just talk. You're a business. You have insurance. Mm-hmm. And, God forbid someone should get hurt in someone's home doing a job.
Correct.
You have insurance that covers that. You pay for that insurance. But when someone's not a licensed contractor, when someone is a handyman, if someone's just coming over to help you and they get hurt inside your home, they're going to sue you. They're going to turn that into your homeowner's insurance.
Oh, absolutely.
So why would you want to take that liability on when you're paying someone to do a job? Why would you not want them to be licensed and bonded and insured?
Well, my thought would be like, say, and I see this on social media a lot. I see this where people are like, well, I got a guy to do it on the side. Okay. So same thing happens. The guy's on the side and he's doing it, and he leaves work on Friday, he waves to everybody he works with, and he comes over your house on Saturday. He twists his ankle or twists his knee getting off that ladder. I mean, he tore something. He's going to be out. Well, you can't say he got it done at work, and he's going to be out for a few weeks. I mean, depending on how bad, he could be out for a couple months. And when he's out for a couple months, he has no income.
Right.
So he can't go to his job.
No.
Who's he going to go to?
He's going to go to the homeowner.
There you go.
Right. Their
right.
liability insurance for their home.
Yeah, and if it's a company, then your guy got hurt in my job or my house. Okay, it's on his workman's comp. He's on everything.
Yeah, you pay for that insurance, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. So, I mean, there's a lot of things to take into account. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we are going to do the drawing for the sump pump.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your...
Welcome back to the Prepare to Repair Show. I am your host, Steve Suarez. Joining me is Joe Strong with the Plumbers Local 130. And now is the time we are going to draw the name for the Proflo half horsepower sump pump, courtesy of Ferguson Supply. And we will be... Ferguson is supplying the pump, and we are supplying the labor on it. So... But the pump comes with a 5-year warranty, and we are giving it a 5-year labor warranty, which covers any manufacturer-covered repairs or replacements on that pump for 5 years. So, in Proflo, people are like, I've never heard of Proflo. Proflo has been around for 25 years. It's been Ferguson's brand, and they have put it up against some of the best up there, and it's been pretty durable for them. So, I'm excited to be able to be part of that offer. And Evan here is going to draw the name from our submissions. He's not even looking. So, he's going to draw the name from our submissions we've got over the weekend. He's handed me the number here. Or the name. Okay. Wow. Congratulations to Nicole Renee. And that was a social media
tag.
There you go. Not tag, but a social media
handle.
I'm losing my mind here. What is it? Input or she sent us a message via social media. I can't even speak today. It's Monday. So anyway, congratulations to Nicole Renee. And she's the winner of a half horsepower.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not. I'm losing it.
You were fine the whole show, and all of a sudden I hand you a little piece of paper with a name on it, and you're like, you're lost.
I get excited when people win. I think it's awesome.
It was a social media submission.
There you go. See what he said.
Thanks, Evan.
Steve will be in contact with you.
Steve will be in contact with you. Thank you for the submission, Nicole Renee, on our Facebook page at Prepare to Repair. The Prepare to Repair show on Facebook.
Wow.
So I appreciate it. Thanks for bailing me out, Evan.
You're welcome.
For some reason, I had a brain cramp there, but I appreciate that. I love when people win, though. That's cool. I mean, even when we do other giveaways, I think it's awesome that when people win. So that's cool because that's what it's all about. So she's going to get herself a pump and labor with a 5-year warranty. So she's going to be hooked up and taken care of. So we'll be reaching out to her. So congratulations. Yeah. And thank you, everybody who made their submissions, and our listeners that are involved in it. We appreciate it. And Ferguson Supply for offering us the pump. And Evan for bailing me out. So, real excited about that. But what we're going to do also I'm real excited about here is not only giving away a pump and having a brain cramp here, but the opportunity that the union has for apprentices. They're taking applications for apprentices. This is that time of the year.
Yes. So it is. It's that time of year. We are in our application process. So, but I think, Steve, first we should talk about what is an apprentice.
Okay.
Right? So if you want to become a plumber.
Right.
you sign up and you become an apprentice plumber. And so you will be learning your trade during the day while you're at work, and then also attending day school and then later night school classes to follow up with your school training. Because as you're well aware, the plumbing trade is a very vast and broad craft, and it takes time to learn it. And so it's a 5-year apprenticeship program that you'll be going to work in school and get paid to do it while you're learning. Well,
it's a trade that's continuously evolving. It is living and breathing, as you know. And we were talking about this, and a lot of people will say, "Well, it's just plumbing." Well, we were talking about off the air. Aside from breathing, water is a necessity of life. Water and sanitation, they're necessities of life. And the fact that I could tell you from the time within 5 minutes of waking up, you've encountered the plumbing trade.
Sure. There's plumbing in every building that you work in, pretty much. If there's a bathroom, drinking fountains, a kitchen, lawn irrigation, there's plumbing is a vast and major part of society. And
your coffee,
your
coffee that you got, the clean hands that made those coffee,
wash your hands,
the clean hands that helped us through this, this pandemic that we're going through.
Absolutely. Plumbers were a key part in a lot of the work here during the pandemic. We were essential workers helping to set up the sinks that are required and the bathrooms that are required at all the different facilities that were used here for the pandemic. It was a very lots of man hours went into that, and it was a very noble effort from a lot of plumbers in the area.
Well, here's some of the requirements, and now, mind you, here's what I'm going to tell you from my point of view as being in the plumbing industry for years. Mm-hmm. I got into plumbing late, so I did not have the fortune of going through the union program.
Sure.
I went through a contractor who sponsored my license, and I got my training there. And that is a way to do it. But I'm going to tell you, the ones that do that and that are bringing you up through the trade for the sheer love of bringing you through the trade and nurturing and bringing more plumbers in there without any of that. What I did for you, right? You know what I did for you. Right. And letting you know what they did for you is few and far between. And there's many people who are working for plumbing companies or working for companies and not getting that kind of training or getting this opportunity where if you go and you really want to get into this trade, the union will give you when you fill out your application and your submission and you are selected, you get access to some of the best education that's out there in this trade.
So what you get is the opportunity.
Yes.
So if you're working like you did in a service environment and you were working under one plumber, that's how you're taught, that's what you're learning, and you're going to go to work as an apprentice plumber if you decide to join Local 130 and apply to be an apprentice. You're going to be assigned a contract. You're going to be working there. But when you come into school, you're going to cover every aspect of plumbing, whether it's tapping a water main and running a water service into a building, whether it's rainwater harvesting and setting up those systems to properly flush toilets and urinals using harvested rainwater, whether you're going to be piping schools or hospitals or universities, you will be shown every aspect of plumbing. So I think that the benefit for training is clear, that you're going to be exposed to so much more than if you were learning plumbing at a shop. And not to say that there are not, good plumbers out there that are trying to train their apprentices, at their local smaller shops. But yeah.
Well, that's what I was getting at. It's tough because if you have a shop that just does one thing or is selective in what they do, then you're not going to be as well-rounded as if you went to school and got all. And again, let's just take actual college. When you go to college, you're not just taking what you're taking all different courses to make you well-rounded. So when you get to your major, that's what you're doing. This right here is showing you all different types of plumbing, all different avenues, everything that you're going to run into plumbing related, which is pretty vast. It's not just, you're replacing a few toilets and you're replacing some faucets and you're done.
Sure.
The intricacies of the plumbing trade, like I said, when you woke up in the morning, you've used plumbing at some point.
Sure.
And
we cover so many different types of plumbing. You know, we built the high rises in Chicago. We've built apartments, houses. You know, everything that you see, you know, that plumbers have been in. That's the type of training that we bring to the table.
Right. And honestly, not only that, but you get, like, say you have people out there that are. And I like to kind of bring this up because I don't think a lot of people understand. There are a lot of people that more engineer motivated, and their mind works in more of the scientific end of it. Mm-hmm. And I mean, just taking a high rise for example. Okay, you've got yourself a. And actually, we're going to take a quick break, and I'll get into that as far as high rises because there's a point I wanted to make with that, and I didn't forget it, but we're going to take a quick break.
Sure thing.
.com.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket.
Welcome back to the Prepare to Repair Show. I am your host, Steve Suarez, and joining me back is Joe Strong with Plumbers Local 130. And I had a little note or a little point I was going to make before we hit break was about just the high rise, just like the scientific end of it is just getting water from, say, a point 8, which ground level, up to, say, a 90-story high-rise. And it's just, there's numbers, there's science behind it, there's calculations, there's pumps, there's, you know.
Right. There's a lot of different aspects to the trade. So, yes, we could talk about our multi-story, our high-story, or high-rise construction where they have huge pumps that pump that water to the top. They express it to the top of the structure, and then they bring it down and do the local feeds to the different floors. We could talk about pools.
Yeah.
We could talk about greenhouses, grocery stores, all the different aspects of our trade. If you're someone that loves to work with your hands and you just want to jump down in the ditch and get it in, we do that. If you're someone that likes to work with computers, the layout, the BIM, CAD drafting portion, all of our jobs now are being done on computer and brought out and 3D modeled with the other crafts, and someone has to go through and take the actual total station and lay out the job, and it's a very intricate and precise method of controlling where the piping is in a structure of that size, and that's our plumbers do that as well.
Yeah, because you know what aggravates me, and that, I mean it's a joke, and everyone say it's not a plumber and it's not a guy with a plunger and you know walking around with his pants pulled down and having a butt crack. That irritates me.
Right.
I mean, like I said, I like jokes and everything like that, but I mean it's just one of those things where the trade is a lot bigger than that. It has done a lot to help to protect the health and safety of the public, and it's just something that everybody needs, and it's something that is one of those often overlooked because of the fact is if you don't have to think about it, obviously we're doing our jobs.
Right.
So that's the main thing. But I'm looking at some of the and this is going on until you started taking applications on January 24th, and you're taking them now or through February 25th. Or the first 2,000 admission or submissions, whichever occurs first.
Correct.
And you're going to apply online at apply.jac130.org. There's a $50 registration fee, and there's methods of payment, which is credit card. And the requirements, you have to complete the application, valid driver's license, birth certificate. You can find all of this online, and must be at least 18 years of age on this. Okay.
So you have to be 18 years of age or 17 and a senior in high school and turn 18 by the time of selection.
Okay. All right. And Now, the good thing about it is everybody is, drug tested on this. So that's pretty cool. And like I said, I am a huge fan of I've been doing this for years. I will tell everyone, this is an excellent career opportunity. You can learn from some of the best people out there, some of the best training you can get. And not only that, but go on.
Well, I was just going to say, so we started talking a little bit and we got kind of sidetracked amongst ourselves.
That's what happens.
So you're going to learn this trade. So you don't have to have plumbing knowledge to apply, for the apprenticeship. We're going to teach you that. If you want to learn, if you are looking for a career and not just a job, if you're looking for a career, if you're looking for stability, if you're looking to make a great wage and have amazing benefits, there's health coverage, there's dental, vision, hearing, retirement, there's a pension and a defined benefit and a defined contribution pension plan for you. If you're looking for all that and to incur zero student loan debt,
that's huge.
Then apply for a trade, because that's what we're offering. We want to train you on how to be a plumber. We're going to train you safely. You're going to learn how to do this job the right way, and you're going to learn how to do it safely. You're going to be receive all the proper safety training. You're going to be treated with respect to do this job, and incur no student loan debt. So we're actually going to assign you to a contractor. You're going to be going to work. You're going to be making your apprentice wage while you're at work, and then they will pay you to attend school on your school day.
Right.
It's a great opportunity for someone that's looking for a career.
Right. And you're emphasizing on one word right there. Someone who is looking for a career. This is not a job. This is not something you go to when you want to go to. The men and women that are in this trade, from the folks at your building in Joliet, Volo, downtown, my guys, our ladies and gentlemen we have at our shop, and every other plumbing company out there, that reputable plumbing, they take this seriously. Mm-hmm. They take what they do seriously because this is what we do. This is our career. And if you come in with that mindset that you want a career, this is an opportunity for you. Absolutely. And it's that you and I had kind of talked in the past, that just seems to be a pretty safe opportunity to get into with longevity. We're always going to need toilets. We're always going to need drinking water. Mm-hmm. And it's a career that once you're trained and licensed, no one can ever take away from you. Oh, no. You've got this. This is you. And you've got the opportunities to become a foreman, to become an owner. Mm-hmm. The sky's the limit, to become an inspector. There's so many opportunities here. And if you're interested, come on out and, apply online, and we'll see what happens. Right, and this is not a short-term career. We were just talking about, and we were actually kind of chuckling. I actually thought about this, and I was chuckling because I was like, wow, I didn't really think about this. But on my team, 4 of my plumbers are 50 or over. Now, I was looking at that. You got 21 years, 25 years, 35 years, and 37 years respectively, and that's not including apprentices and that have had a couple years of experience in just digging ditches before they got into it. Mm-hmm. And my other guy, he has 18 years experience. So you look at that, and that's a lot working, especially like with my team. It's working for you. That's experience that is going to help you, and even just combined experience that you're going to get everything done right, and you're going to get the right information. And that's key. It's a wealth of knowledge. Yes. I think from just what you were saying, it sounded like you had well over 100 years experience just in some of your top team there. It's 118 years experience. Yeah. And we've got... they've seen everything that you're going to send them out to look at. But you know what the cool thing about it is, and this is what I run into, and you've seen this, is no one plumber is going to know everything. Right. But the great thing about it is I can make a phone call.
Absolutely.
I've got that phone call. I got people I can call. I've got a team that has seen pretty much. If they haven't seen it, we got somebody we can call that has seen it. If we haven't seen it with that type of experience, and not only that, but those having that experience means you're coming in out of high school and you're going to take this and you can get that kind of experience into that. And, you're in your 50s. And, I mean, there's, like I said, it shows stability in a career for people having that kind of experience in that. And I'm happy that I was able to tap this kind of knowledge to be able to help my customers get the best product they can.
Absolutely.
They're not going to guess. They're not going to. Well, this may be it because that costs money. You don't guess. We don't get paid to guess. We get paid to get the job done. So, I mean, I was just looking at that. That's, I thought about that the other day. I'm like, wow, and we've got, men and women on our team too. We have a female plumber, which is, she's dynamite. She's rock. She worked with me before. She's back, and I am, happy to have her. So having that team with all that experience is I just,
sharing that knowledge with those younger plumbers as well.
Yeah. It's like, okay. And they'd look at you like, okay, what are you going to do with this?
Right.
It's like, this is what we're going to do. And, it's you got some things that baffle you. You're not going to see everything, but the one thing that I guess I always tell people, it's like, you can learn a lot of the basics on it, but the experience is what tells you, what do I do when?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's the key thing. What do I do when? And when you get that wealth of experience from you, because even once you get out of the apprentice program, you don't stop learning.
No.
And you're not reaching out. You're going to reach out to your instructors. You're going to reach out to people that you have, because you're going to have questions. You're going to.
Well, all of your plumbers and all of our licensed plumbers attend continuing education every year.
Absolutely. So, I mean, there's just, like I said, it's a wealth of knowledge. You just expand your team of resources, and there's nothing wrong with having unlimited resources to help you in your career. And that's what the apprentice program will do, and beyond, as you make your way being a union plumber.
Yes.
Which is phenomenal. So, and I appreciate that. And one thing I want to do, I want to thank you for being on the show, Joe. I appreciate you coming out and giving us some information, especially, like I said, on the apprentice applications that are being taken. And I'm going to give you a little tidbit before we go on this. Starting wage for an apprentice is $17.95.
Yeah, $17.95 an hour for a first-year apprentice for their first 6 months.
Right.
And then as long as they're progressing through the apprenticeship, they'll jump up for the second 6 months to $19.55. And a current journeyman plumber makes over $52 an hour.
Right. And you know what? What are they paying for their health care and their benefits and pension? What do they pay for that?
$0. All of that are their dollar amounts that were negotiated by the union on the plumber's behalf that the contractor pays in. So
it's part of their package.
It's part of their benefit package that was negotiated. So there's a pension, there's a health insurance, and that is paid for every hour that they work. Those dollar amounts are paid in on their behalf by their employer.
So what you will have is guys that are working, they're happily, healthy, taken care of, and they have those back things, or those important things taken care of, the security, family security, things like that are really important in
our welfare fund. It's just like our training fund is 100% self-funded.
Okay. So
it's funded by our plumbers, by our contractors that pay in on the plumber's behalf into the Joint Apprentice Committee, a dollar amount per hour that every hour that they work. Same thing with our welfare fund. And we're self-administered. So if you've got a problem or a question, you can call our own Plumbers Welfare Fund. And I did want to give a quick plug out to our business manager, Jim Coyne, has started union wellness centers for our plumbers. So
Excellent.
if you want to run to the doctor, there's offices in Shanahan, there's offices in Lamont, there's offices all over that are just for our members and other union crafts. So there's a lot of wholesome family benefits that are available for our members.
Well, I can attest to those wellness centers. I appreciate you for being on the show, Joe.
Thank you for the opportunity. This is great.
Thank you, Joe, for being on here. And I also want to thank Ferguson Supply for their half horsepower sump pump, and I want to congratulate our winner, Nicole Renee, for her winning her sump pump that she won. And I also want to say thank you to Ferguson Supply. Check out Ferguson Supply for all your kitchen, bath, lighting, and appliances needs. Your dream kitchen or bathroom is as close as Tinley Park. I also want to give out that website again real quick for the Local 130 is apply.jac130.org. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next